pavement in Observatory in front of the Arcadia Place. They have named their new settlement Singabalapha, meaning we belong here. And I want to speak to more about this and what they're going through and speak to the chairperson of this group. We're joined by Barbara Vuza, who joins us on the line. Barbara, great to have you on the program.
Thanks. Good morning, Craig, and how are you?
I am better than I deserve, and better than, I guess, most people who are experiencing certain trauma from being out there on the streets. Describe for us, Barbara, the lived experience of people who are living in this settlement.
Okay, in this settlement, we exposed in harassment, we exposed in humiliation, we expose in anger that we don't know where is it coming from, because the experiences that we had is very, very bad. That was caused mainly by the city of Cape Town. The city of Cape Town, it was always in and out our tents, and there was no way that we can challenge them, because they are the elephants and we are the ants. So up until the COVID time, because they started doing this in early this year, because we started staying in the street on the 2nd of October last year, 2019. That is when we started staying in the tents.
So it's been a year now. It's been a year now.
It's a year full. We occupied a building that was there, well, just opposite us here. I mean, at the back of us. And the building was empty. It was an old age building. We occupied the building. We stayed there. We occupied the buildings from the 17th. On the 22nd, that was the first Sunday. The first Sunday, a gentleman came, and then we were about to hold a meeting with a lot of papers telling us it was around about 20 to 12 midday. He told us that we have to be at the High Court at 12 o'clock. We are in Observatory.
Right.
Quarter to 12 o'clock, how can you make it to town? And according to what we know, is that you can never approach the High Court without a legal representative.
So when you say you occupied this building, was this your last resort in terms of getting shelter? Was there no plan B?
It was our last resort, and also it was a way of also showing that the city of Cape Town that there is empty buildings. If maybe you have got a backlog, why don't you use the existing buildings to accommodate people who do not have places to stay? But it turned out to take us to court.
So currently you are staying in tents on the pavement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about access to water. Talk to us about access to electricity, ablution facilities, etc.
We don't have access to water. We just only now got a Jojo tank from an individual who saw our problem. Then he brought us a Jojo tank that we cannot even fill, because when we asked for the city to fill the Jojo tank, there was no response. A pollution system we don't have, but now we're using the ones that you rent. They don't have water. You rent that, and then it has to be serviced every time. And now we can't even afford, because it's more than 1,000 rand a month. But people will come and donate money for us to pay for it. And then we had two of them. The other one was made for males, and the other one was made for female and children. Right. So now we are left with only one.
Talk to us about the people that are living in the settlement. How many children are among them?
We've got about 12 children.
Ages?
All under the age of 18. The biggest one is 17.
Right. And the youngest?
The youngest one is 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's, you know, it hurts your heart to think about a 4-year-old living in such conditions with no access. And we're living Barbara, in a pandemic, people experiencing homelessness, might be vulnerable to COVID-19 issues. People are living probably with comorbidities. You don't have access to water, you can't wash your hands. You're at risk of contracting the virus. Talk to us about your fear of contracting COVID-19. Have anyone in your group contracted the virus already?
Okay. Talking about COVID-19, when the COVID-19 started, we were in the street already. And we had all the rules and regulations of COVID-19. And now the problem with us was water. Okay, we don't mind about the other stuff. We don't want, if they think maybe giving us toilets and water and electricity is luxury. Water, only water. We had to rely on the people of Observatory. I will even applaud OBSCAN. People of Observatory were in and out, coming to bring us water. We could manage to get water from the people to wash hands, to wash ourselves, to drink and everything. You can imagine we've got school-going kids here.
Yeah.
They go to school without ironing their clothes. They go to school.
Yeah.
They go to school. Sometimes we don't have water at all. We will use wipes if we've got wipes for them to clean up themselves. So we had a problem with COVID-19. But even in that situation, Singabalapha managed to go through COVID-19 up until now. I am not saying we are through to COVID-19, but since March up until now, level 1, we don't even have one person of Singabalapha who had a call for anything that is bringing that COVID-19 maybe has attacked us. It didn't do a thing to us. We don't know how it happened, but we try to stick to the real rules and regulations. The only thing that the city did to us, they brought a bus here to come and take us from our houses, from our tents. We've got furniture here. We've got furniture. We've got everything that shows that these are homes to us. They said we must go to a big tent that is not even divided, which is they were exposing us to COVID-19, TB, and all other diseases, even sexual harassment and everything. Right. But we didn't want to go, and we ended up not going there. But we gave them a message when they came here. We said we are not going to go to Strandfontein because what you are doing in Strandfontein is a disaster. And it ended up exactly the same that way because that tent was just closed in the middle of the COVID-19.
Barbara, you're painting a very bleak picture. Singabalapha chairperson Barbara Vuza there. We wish you and all those who are struggling during this time strength and comfort. Thank you very much indeed for giving us your perspective, the reality according to you on the ground. Be well.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Barbara Vuza, they talked to us about the living conditions that they're going through. So this is the reality, according to Barbara, on the ground with regards to what they're facing. And it comes a time when we're dealing with COVID-19. No water, how do you wash your hands? Guaranteed there's no social distancing in that settlement. What about the wearing of masks? As I say, all of these in and itself are not complete prophylaxis, but they help in terms of preventing the transmission. You could have a super spreader event with regards to COVID-19. You don't want that. South Africa is doing pretty well in terms of the numbers going down. The latest count is 1,641. You know where we were. You don't want that second wave. That second or third wave is a reality. So these kind of issues play, together with the pandemic, with homelessness, with mental health issues. Today is World Mental Health Day. We're going to try and bring back SADC as well. We had an earlier chat, the line got cut a bit, but it's important, I think, to talk about these issues, mental health issues, dealing with mental health issues in a pandemic. All right, we're going to take a quick break.